Hello everyone, welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday the 8th of July 2024 to Friday the 12th of July 2024. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. All right, so let's start with the Nifty chart, and this is the daily chart for today. And as we speak right now, these are the key open interest levels. As you can see, 24,200 is acting as the immediate support, and 24,400 is acting as the immediate resistance. We can also see that there is a very strong support, which is close to this round number 24,000. And if you look at the overall big range, it's between 24,000 to 25,000. So right now, what I'm seeing is that Nifty is just trying to consolidate here. And we also have the India VIX, which is in a key level of demand. And today we have seen a spike in the India VIX, which has probably created a lot of volatility in all the indices. So coming this week, in case if the VIX continues to rise to the upside, then there is a high possibility that we might see a little bit of a sideways to a corrective move in our market. Let's move on to the Bank Nifty now, and let's look at what are the key levels for Bank Nifty. So if you look at Bank Nifty also has been consolidating. And if you see, after it tried to close above 53,000, it was unable to sustain. And although it closed just tad above 53,000, we had a gap down. So now in the scenario of the concept of demand and supply, this is going to be a key area, which is also called as a pro gap. And around this area, we also have a confluence of this 53,000 open interest level. Now, of course, as time goes, there is a possibility that these open interest levels might shift up or down. But in the current scenario, that is as of now, it's 11 a.m. And what we see here is that we see a confluence of a call open interest level here. So if we do have a supply zone and we have a call open interest lining up, then this area can act as a strong resistance for the Bank Nifty. So two things can happen. Either we might consolidate and move to the upside to fill this gap, or we might consolidate and then start moving further down, first towards 52,000 and then towards 51,000. On the larger time frame analysis, you can see that we have a strong support, or the Bank Nifty's strongest support is at 50,000 level, which is currently far away from the current market price. We could see that level coming in case if the India VIX shoots up very strongly. But however, for now, these are the key levels. So we'll have to first wait to see if 52,000 level holds, and then we will have to see 51,000 level holds, and then we might have to look at this 50,000 level. But overall, right now, markets are in an indecisive mode where they are more or less trading sideways with a slight bearish view. Okay, let's move on to the Finnifty now. And if you look at the Finnifty is also a little bearish today. We can see the highest open interest on Finnifty is around this level. So more or less, Bank Nifty and Finnifty have created this gap or this pro gap. Now it will be interesting to see whether the price also holds into this area of demand, because this is also a key area which might act as a little bit of a consolidation over here. So we might see consolidation, either a move to the upside or then consolidation or a break to the downside. So any close below 23,500 will probably trigger the Finnifty to go further down. And we also have another level of demand where we have a confluence of not just one, but two open interest lines at 23,000 and 22,800. So more or less, this is telling us that this area is probably going to act as a extremely strong support for the Finnifty. Let's move on to the mid-cap Nifty now. And on the mid-cap Nifty, this is one index which is seeing a lot of strength. Let me just refresh the graph here. Yeah. So today we have seen a bearish candle, and now as we speak, this candle is trying to engulf this candle. So in case if it does close as a bearish candle or an engulfing candle, then end of the day, we might see a little bit of a bearish momentum coming in into the mid cap Nifty. As you can see, we do not have any overhead supply, but um, the open interest is lining up towards 12,700, 750, and 800 levels. So if there is any turn that is likely to come, there is going to be a little bit of heavy selling happening at these above levels on the mid cap Nifty, and all the call writers will be hoping that the price doesn't get here, right? So bearish pressure on the mid cap Nifty. And in the near term, we see 12,300 as the first level, which is also coinciding with this level of demand, and 12,200. So more or less, this is where the mid cap Nifty is likely to head in the short term, or maybe even this week. Let's move on to Sensex now. So on the Sensex, what do we see? Let me just refresh the graph here. Okay. So on the Sensex, again, Friday's candle was a pretty strong candle. But again, Sensex is facing this round number resistance at 80,000. And as and when the Sensex reaches that level, it is probably getting rejected. So what's in it for Sensex now? In case if India VIX increases, then along with all the indices, we will see a corrective move in Sensex as well. But in case if that does not happen and price happens to close above 80,000, then the next stop on Sensex is 81,000. So probably there's nothing to stop the Sensex from moving towards 81,000 in the short term. Let's look at BankX now. And more or less, BankX is going to be a similar chart, just like the Finnifty and the Bank Nifty chart. And as you can clearly see here, today the prices came closer to the 60,000 level, and BankX took a good support at this level. And the upper point is 60,500. Today we have the mid cap and the BankX expiry. So just be a little careful, because we are going to see a lot of volatility coming in either during the day or maybe during the fag end of this market, right? But we can clearly see that Bank X is moving in a very, very tight range for expiry, just a 500-point range. And you usually, more or less, this is usually the range which Bank X and probably all the indices trade when there is expiry. So now after expiry, the next big move is more or less likely to happen above 60,500 or below 60,000. So any move that or any candle that closes below 60,000 will trigger the move to the downside, and the next levels are 59,500 and 59,000. And in case if BankX pushes to the upside, then any close above 60,500 will drive the prices to 61,000 or 61,500 in the short term. So let us see whether the markets are in a consolidation mode, or whether they are trying to consolidate to give the big move to the upside or to the downside. So it's going to be an interesting week on all the indices. Okay, now from the indices, we are going to now move to the India VIX. And let us see what the India VIX is telling us today. So I've been saying this time and time again since the past few weeks that the India VIX has hit a level of demand, and sooner or later it is likely to rise. And if it rises and rises steadily, then we might see a consolidation and a steady move to the downside. But in case if the VIX starts to move strongly and very strongly out of this level of demand, first it will try and reach 16.75% as the handle, then it might try and touch 22.4. So we got to be a little cautious now on all the indices, for the only reason that India VIX is in a level of weekly demand, which is a very higher time frame level of demand, and it is showing some kind of movement to the upside, which will probably force, or it will enforce pressure on all the indices to move down, or then to move down and then to consolidate. So we might see some profit booking coming in on the indices and also the heavyweights. Let's move on to one of our heavyweights now. Let us start off first with HDFC Bank. So we are seeing that pressure coming in, and in fact, the one stock that is actually dragging the Bank Nifty right now is HDFC Bank. And as you can clearly see, we had this level breach, right? This was the resistance level. Market nearly went all the way to 1800, and then there was a huge selling pressure. This could be profit booking. At least that is what it looks like. But now, what are the next key levels for HDFC Bank? So as you can see, the strongest support now on HDFC Bank is at 1600 levels. And market is not very far away from those levels. And if you also see here, we have a level of demand which is also lining up with this open interest level. So more or less what I'm trying to gauge is that in case if HDFC Bank comes down, 1600 will act as a support. And then from there on, it might again start to move to the upside. So if that happens, then Bank Nifty will also push down, Nifty will also push down towards those key levels of demand, and then move towards the supply zones. So in the short term, the key range for the for the HDFC Bank stock is 1600 to 1700, and this is what we need to watch out for this week. Let's move on to the next heavyweight, Reliance, and let us analyze the key levels. So if you look at the daily chart of Reliance as compared to HDFC Bank, I think this stock is more or less balancing the overall move on the index. And as we can see that although HDFC Bank is pushing down towards the 1600 handle, Reliance is trying to push towards the 3200 handle, right? So we have one heavyweight pushing to the upside, and we have another heavyweight which is pushing to the downside, which probably makes it a little indecisive to understand where the market is likely to move. So ideally, in a bullish market, you want Reliance and HDFC Bank to move in the same direction. In a bearish market, you want Reliance and HDFC Bank to move in the same direction. But in such a market, it's very, very difficult to predict the move. However, based on the levels right now, we are very, very close to the 3200 open interest level on Reliance. And in case if this resistance holds, then we might see Reliance moving in a range between 3200 to 3100 in the short term, at least for this week. Any break above 3200 will probably force the indices to move up further because Reliance is the big heavyweight. And the next stop on the upside on Reliance is 3300 levels. As we can clearly see that Reliance is making an all-time high. There is absolutely no supply. There's nothing to stop Reliance from moving to the upside. But 3200 needs to break convincingly, and we need to see a close above that level. That will probably force the move to the upside. All right, so this is pretty much from me. I hope you enjoyed this analysis for the week. Looking forward for next week. Take care, everybody. Have a safe trading week, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.